was, and what people understood when he worked some of his miracles was that Jesus wasn't the only miracle worker of the time. You may remember that controversy that we find in the Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 11, verses 14 to 23. Now he was casting out a demon that was mute. When the demon had gone out, the one who had been mute spoke, and the crowds were amazed. But some of them said, he cast out demons by Beelzebul, the ruler of the demons. Others, to test him, kept demanding from him a sign from heaven. But he knew what they were thinking, and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself becomes a desert, and house falls on house. If Satan also is divided against himself, how will his kingdom stand? For you say that I cast out the demons by Beelzebul. Now if I cast out the demons by Beelzebul, by whom do your exorcists cast them out? Therefore, they will be your judges. So when Jesus is accused of casting out demons by the power of Beelzebul, the chief of the demons, part of his response was a very blunt ad hominem argument. By whom do your exorcists cast demons out? Basically, Jesus is saying, why be on my case? I'm not the only exorcist around. Now, many of the other translations are not quite as explicit as the New Revised Standard Version that I use. They translate the Greek terms simply as experts, or even something more neutral like, by whom do your people cast them out? But it's very clear that the population to whom Jesus was speaking knew of exorcists, and Jesus was not the only one of them. And we'll be looking in this series of presentations at what is unique about Jesus' exorcisms. Here in this passage from Luke, basically Jesus says that if I cast out demons, it's not by the power of Beelzebul, but the finger of God has come upon you, that God is at work among you. Jesus doesn't pass any judgment as to the origin of the power of these other exorcists, but he does acknowledge that there were other exorcists around. I mean, they certainly weren't a dime a dozen, but Jesus was not the only exorcist in town. Now, if we quickly go back into Jewish history, one of the greatest of heroes of Jewish history was, of course, Moses, who, along with his brother Aaron, the priest, led the Jewish people out of Egypt at the time of the Exodus. And one of the things that we know about Moses and Aaron was, as they went to Pharaoh, they performed in the name of God a number of signs and wonders before the great 10th plague. In fact, we call those signs and wonders plagues, at least in popular jargon. The 10th plague was, of course, the slaughter or the killing of the firstborn of all the Egyptians. But prior to that, there were 9 different plagues. And while we think of the plagues that were performed by Moses and Aaron, we have to remember, once again, that they weren't the only person in town. So again, I'd like to read to you a passage from the scripture, and this is a passage that we find in the book of Exodus. Then the Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuses to let my people go. Go to Pharaoh in the morning as he is going out to the water. Stand by the riverbank to meet him, and take in your hand the staff that was turned into a stake. Say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, sent me to you to say, let my people go.